What is going on, everybody? Mike Perkins, good to see you, bud. Brent, welcome. Steve Chamberlain, Wes, David Torres. Let me get my mic positioned here. Welcome to the call, guys. Tonight we are live inside the university. This call is actually designed for folks who are considering joining us on the inside of the Storage Rebellion University. For those who want to know more about what it is, what's included, how it can help you, and you want some real testimonies from folks who are in the program, who are doing it. You guys are going to get to hear from some of those members as well. Welcome, Shane Chapin. How you doing?
What's going on, brother? How you doing? What's going on, Rebels? Good to see you all here.
You got your tea this evening? What do we got?
Bro, I am ready to rock. This is straight up coffee right now. Let's go.
I got my jam jar of just straight water.
Yeah, but I got straight water too. I mean, this is a long half hour here. I'm ready to go. I got snacks. I got backup.
I was just going to ask, did you bring snacks?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I actually didn't. But wow, we got some winners here. Look at this group, man. Wes Graham,
got Brian Grebian.
Husky.
I just talked to Brian today. He was flying back from I believe he just closed down another deal. He's crushing it.
Who's that?
Brian Grebian, our fellow insider.
We're trying to keep up with him. I have no idea what that dude's doing. He unleashed a beast, man, and just hasn't looked back. So it's amazing to watch what he's doing.
He's
for sure.
It. Anthony Kusky, welcome. Anthony goes, "What's this?" Anthony, this is inside the university. This is for folks.
Why am I here?
He's like, I'm here, but I don't know why. We're just glad you came, bud. We're super happy about it. Tonight's call is for anyone who's considering the university, wants to know more about it. We actually had a few people reach out, and they asked about this particular type of call, and I was like, well, we've never done one. Let's see if other people might be interested. And so we shot out an email, a whole bunch of you responded. And so here we are. And we thought it might be cool just to give you an inside look. So for those who want to get started in storage, but they're not entirely sure where to start, what are the best steps to take, that's where the university comes in. We help you guys close that first deal. And tonight's call is all about what the program looks like, who it's for, how it can help you, and we want to give you a chance to hear from other members as well. So welcome to the call. Shane, love to hear from you. Let's check in. How's everything going with you?
I think things are going great. So as a lot of the people on here know, they've been on our weekly calls, but we did transfer that Storage Rebellion University monthly call that we had. That was, I think, about the second Wednesday of every month. We were doing a 2-hour Zoom call, and I just feel like there was, I think, we talked about it, and it was a lot of information kind of all at once coming in that 2 hours, and then it felt like it was just a real long time before we got to touch base with our members again, really.
Yeah.
And so we broke that 2-hour call into weekly half-hour calls, and I've loved it. The feedback I've gotten so far has been very positive. So if there's any negative feedback, it's happening without my knowledge. But it seems like people are really getting a lot out of it. I feel much more connected with the members and where they are on their journey, which is the point of it, right? Is we need them to know that they're supported. Like, they can't wait 30 days to get a hold of us, right? And there's a network. There's community, there's chats, there's a ton of awesome people like Grubby and like Kusky that are willing to help and answer questions, whether they know why they're here or not. They're just going to be here to help because they're just going to be here to help. And I think it's important to understand that we all started somewhere, right? We all at some point didn't know what we were doing. We all at some point had all those self-doubts and limiting beliefs, and I walked into that room at that first retreat, and I felt like a itty-bitty fish in a real big pond, and I had not felt that feeling in a long time. And a lot of my limiting beliefs were just jumping out at me, and a lot of self-doubt. But this community is one that gives back, and they really look to lift each other up and help each other and really understand the abundance mindset and the growth mindset. and the community
Yeah.
aspect of what we are. So yeah, it's really it's been cool so far, and I'm looking forward to getting some new folks in there that we can help along.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to touch on the live calls like you had mentioned, we were doing those once a month. And one of the things, the whole premise of the university is to help folks get their first deal underway as quickly as possible. And so
That's right.
as we were revamping the program, we were asking ourselves, how can we do that? Like where could we potentially be missing something here? And we uncovered that having more touches with you guys, in other words, supporting you on a more frequent basis, was a major key to that. But then also incorporating more of that coaching element. So a lot of prior, we used to have our 8 p.m. calls. It was 2 hours long. We'd bring in a guest speaker. And if you were newer and you were coming into storage for the first time and you jumped on this live call and somebody's talking about taxes, for an example, you're like, well, hold on, I haven't gotten that far. And so it threw a lot of people off. And so now every single week, you can jump on a live coaching call with Shane Chapin here. And no matter where you are in your journey, what questions you have, you could bring them to the table every single week. If you're looking at your first deal, if you're getting ready to make an offer, if a seller asks you a question and you're just not really sure how to answer it, you guys will have consistent, ongoing support and hand-holding. And so you will quite literally never be alone on this journey. So it doesn't really matter what you face or what you come across. You're always going to have somebody to hold your hand and guide you through it, which allows you to move so much faster. And I see Joseph, love the weekly calls. Even if I have to miss, I always watch the replay. I love that, Joseph. Another fellow member who's crushing it. Let's do this. I'd love to, what we can do is we can talk a little bit about who this program is for. So if there's some folks out there that are feeling a certain way, or you're at a certain point in your journey, we can talk about if this is the right fit for you. And we can even invite some of our university members up here. I see we have several in the chat right now. I'd love to hear from them. And then we can actually give folks a chance. If they feel this is the right time for them, we'll give them a chance to join us in the group tonight. So, Shane, I'll hand it over to you. I've been talking a little bit too much. You want to touch on maybe some things that people might be facing right now, or where they are in their storage journey and why this could be a good fit for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, man. I think, just speaking from my own personal experience, I don't think I'm any different than anybody else where they're starting. And some of the things that I feel like I had to overcome in the beginning in order to achieve whatever it was that I was looking to achieve at the time. And I definitely, had limiting beliefs, self-doubts. And I was very good at what I did at the time. In the car dealership, I was a big fish in a little pond over there, and I knew what I was doing. I was very good at what I did. And I had no idea how to underwrite a self-storage business or a facility, right? I had no idea how to operate one. At that point, I'd never even rented a self-storage unit in my life. Honestly, I still have yet to rent a self-storage unit in my life. I had no idea what it was, but I knew I wanted something. Mm-hmm. And so I think for me, it was getting around the right people that seemed to believe in me more than I believed in myself until I caught up to them a little bit and started really believing that yes, I could achieve it. And I started reframing things to I'm not good at underwriting to I'm not good at underwriting yet, and just I know I can learn this. So I think this community is really for anybody that obviously you want to buy a storage facility, you want to invest in self-storage for whatever reason, right? And we all have our own reasons, we all have our own whys. But at the end of the day, this is the vehicle we've chosen. Mm-hmm. And anybody that's on this call or watching this call is at least interested enough in the storage to be here, and they've heard something that led them to us. I will say that I feel like I've grown as much personally and mentally with this community as I have business wise, right? Financially, as much as I have in the mindset. So I think you get a lot from it, but the biggest thing I think this community has is just the willingness and the openness to get back to each other. And I know you, Chris, I know that this, community means everything. And I love what I do in here. I love coaching these guys. I love seeing their successes. I love hearing the kind words that like Joseph posted today after our call yesterday. I mean, that was cool. And I love that. And so I think really just making sure that we're looking to see every single person succeed at whatever it is they want, right? We all come from different areas. We're all starting from somewhere. But the biggest, scariest thing, I think, is to be alone in that journey. And that, I think the big message I want to make sure they get across is they aren't alone. We are in this network every day, all day. There's access to us. There's access to so many rock stars in this community that are so willing to help and give back that you hit the nail on the head, man. You're just not alone on this journey. You never should be. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I love that. And it's, especially with storage, like there isn't, you could come across so many different scenarios when we're looking at deals, right? So like you've done a handful of deals, and for them, I would say there's a lot of similar moving pieces. And then there's also a lot of things that you probably come across for the first time. And I think that's why I love, especially the university, but the community as a whole, is like, you're going to come across some things that might overwhelm you. You might not know how to handle it, and that's totally okay. And if you just feel, if you're alone in that, right? Like if you don't have somebody that you can call, or you can put a chat out in the community, or come onto a coaching call and say, hey, this is what I got. How do I resolve it? And somebody fixes it for you, and you just continue moving on. If you don't have that, you kind of get stirred up in your own world. You start falling into limiting beliefs and self-doubt, and you start to question everything, and then you don't really do anything. And I feel like I see so many people who want to get rich quick, and they're not willing to invest in themselves. And I just think that's the biggest mistake. Like if you're serious about creating freedom with storage, the first thing you have to do is invest into yourself and surround yourself with the right people. And this goes beyond storage. This is anything that you want to create wealth in, anything you want to be successful in life. You have to get educated with it. You have to be really good at it, and you have to be in a community and have support, because the truth is like, it doesn't matter how many books you read. Sure, you'll continue to pick up nuggets and things like that, and that's all good and helpful. But like, without somebody to guide you and push you and question you when you're, maybe looking at things the wrong way, when you're doubting yourself and you don't even really realize it, and you have somebody who could spot that out in you and help you to look at it from a different angle. I think it's just, those are the things that separate the players from the people on the bench, right? Like the people who are playing the game, they're taking action, they're asking questions, they're surrounding themselves with the right people. They might not know all the answers, but because they're in the right environment, they just continue to move so much faster. Like Brian, for an example, right? Like just a couple of years ago, he was a new insider, and he was at our retreat. I think maybe we were in Atlanta. Brian, you could chime in the chat.
Arizona.
Was it Phoenix?
Yeah.
Oh, I just
that's
like
why I met him. We had a nice bus ride out to the side by sides and the four wheelers, and we had a nice long bus ride. That's where I met him. I'll never forget. Yeah. It was a great ride, man. He was a great dude.
Yeah, I remember hearing his story when he was getting started, and I feel like that was so recent. Now I look at him, and he's got four deals, I think, that he has. I think he's working on 2 others, but like he's taking action, he's doing it. But I know so many other folks here are doing it too, and I'd love to. I'm looking at a few folks here that we got in our university. I'd love to bring up a few folks and hear like their story. I'd love for them to share their story with other people. I know it'll bring a whole bunch of inspiration and insight, and also hear like what makes the university valuable for them. If you're cool with that, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great. You hit the nail on the head. It's like what we don't know is okay, because we're not creating new problems, right? And I've yet to create a new problem in self-storage. And so this, being comfortable, being uncomfortable, being being okay with not knowing everything, but yet knowing that you have a community that's probably figured out whatever massive problem you've just faced in your self-storage business. We can solve it pretty quick. So I'd love to hear from someone else. Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna bring up there we go. I'm gonna bring up Mike Perkins.
I know that guy.
Mike's got a great story. Is Mike doing Behind the Breakthrough next month?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Mike, welcome, dude. How you doing?
Hey, doing good. Thanks for having me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for hopping on with us. Shane and I have been talking about you a few times just because I think you got a cool story. We've seen your progress over the past few years. I know you're heavily involved in SRU and looking to become an insider soon, but I'd love to hear a little bit about, or maybe you could share, I should say, because I know your backstory, but if you could share with the group your backstory and maybe tell us a little bit about how this program, specifically the university, has helped you get to where you are.
Yeah. So it's funny. The other day I looked back in my messages here on the SRU, and I went back to December of 23, and that's when I first reached out to Scott Spear. And to be honest, I kind of I don't consider it wasted time, but I kind of sat on the sidelines for about 6 months and just kind of learned who was who and who was doing what and so on. And I reached out to Scott, and he was like, hey, if you ever find what you think is a deal, let me know. We'll go over it. So I still dragged my feet a little bit just because I was apprehensive. It was new. I was nervous. And I talked to another member at the time, John Farling, and he said, hey, how long have you been educating? And I said, about 6 months. He goes, oh, man, you're like 5 months too far into this. So he said, you need to take immediate action and just start making calls. And so that's what I did. I started calling owner operators. I had made my own list. I had this probably 800 or 900 people on this list at the time I'd built, but I didn't want to start tapping into it until I felt confident enough. I didn't want to waste anything. So whether that's the right approach or not, I don't know, but that's the way I kind of approached it at the time. So within, I think it was 8 or 9 days, 10 days, we had a potential deal close, 30 minutes from home. We got Scott involved. He hopped on the phone, and that's when the real education for me began, is being on the other line with somebody like Scott Spear, speaking directly with an owner operator. I mean, and there's been now 2.5 years later, there's been probably 20, 25 of those phone calls I've been on now. And gosh, I mean, the education is just unbelievable. And then, the operations side of it, I mean, 2 months into this journey, we found ourselves on site with Shane and Andrea Chapin in Alabama, for a couple of days doing due diligence on a property. Got a big education there. Not saying that this is going to happen with every case, but if you surround yourself with the right people and figure out what you have to offer is in terms of providing value. I sat down and I thought about that, and it's like, how can I provide value? Well, I've got a little sales experience like Shane. I did sell cars, not quite as long as he did, but 6 or 7 months, years ago. Had a little bit of sales experience in lawn care and things like that. So I thought, well, maybe I can put those skills together, use those skills when I'm talking to owner operators, find these good deals, bring them to other members and say, hey, let's look at this. Hey, this is a good deal. And, we all benefit from it in the end. So, yeah, it's just, there's no way you move so much further faster when you're leaning into this community. And I mean, Chris, you and I have had conversations. I mean, there's other people on this call I've had plenty of conversations with, and once you get going, once you gain traction, it's like I used to hammer the phones. I mean, I hammered the phones, calling. And now, honestly, I think I've made maybe 10 cold calls in the last month, because there's just deals that come from so many different channels now, from the relationships that I've built over the last 2.5 years. It's like, I mean, I could cold call, but I've got so much on my plate I'm trying to figure out now. It's like, I'll just wait for that,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But yeah, it's just, it's really, not to say that you couldn't do this by yourself. You probably could, but like Shane says all the time, I don't think there's anything that's going to come up, an issue that somebody has that hasn't already been solved by somebody else. And that is so valuable. I think Shane saved somebody, what was it? You saved like Chris Acosta, like 75 grand on that deal just by getting advice from you. So, I mean, yeah, it's been well worth it. And, I wouldn't look at it as a monthly fee or whatever it is that you pay out. I would look at it as definitely investing in yourself, and your future, your family's future, for sure. Yeah.
It's awesome. I love that. Yeah, I love that you were mentioning leaning into the community, especially people like Scott, right, who shows up within the university. Scott's all over the place, but there's so many good folks in the network that you can lean on, and I think that's one of the biggest pieces of value to it. But Shane, I don't know if there was something you wanted to add as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been privy to Mike's journey. I feel like I've had a front row seat to a lot of it, and it's been
Yeah.
amazing to watch. It's inspiring to me, and it drives me to then go and continue to help more people. It's just because I love hearing a story. I love seeing how he and Tammy have been able to change their lives and what they've been able to do. But he puts in the work,
Yeah.
and that's a big part of it. Like, he puts in the work, puts in the time, and understands that this isn't just a get rich quick, like you had said, Chris, right? I mean, it takes some work, it takes some time, but all good things really do. And Mike, you made a good point. If you're looking at any kind of self-development in your world as an expense to your world, that is going to be the first shift you have to make before anything else then happens, because you have to see past that and realize that that's where you need to pour into yourself in order to then be able to pour out into others, right? You need to be able to take care of yourself and be able to do what you need to do. It's an investment, like you said, Mike. And I think getting past that hurdle and realizing, hey, listen, it's tough, right? I mean, times can be tough, and around let's have money trees laying around. So it can be difficult sometimes to look at some things that might not feel like a need. But when you take a real step back and you look at what it is that you want, what is that goal? And then ask yourself, what are you really willing to do to achieve it? And if it's not anything you possibly can do, then you need to stop and relook at that goal, because it's not the right one. Because you need to be willing to do anything you want to do for it. And if you're not willing to do that and invest a few bucks in yourself, it's tough for other people to help you if you're not willing to help yourself a little bit.
Yeah. You got to be willing to do what it takes. And if that includes getting ready to be put out for a medical procedure, and you tell the anesthesiologist, hey, before you put me out, if you know anybody that has a self-storage facility that they're looking to sell, get one of my cards from my wife, before we leave. I make sure that everybody and their brother knows that we're buying storage or we're looking for deals. I mean, I still have, my job, I work at night, but there's like 5 different buildings within that compound, and every one of those buildings, every single bulletin board has 3 or 4 of my cards pinned to it. So, I mean, everybody, you go to the gas station, I mean, you strike up, let everybody know what you're doing. And it just, you wouldn't believe how it might be 4, 5, 6 months down the road, might be a year down the road, but that may just trickle back to you. And that stuff's starting to trickle back to me now. And, I just real briefly, you know, I think too, once you do get that first deal, you get that under your belt, I think the next one will come so much easier. I mean, we're working on another one now, and you know, a couple of more that I'm still working with the owner operator on, and then one that called me today that says he wants to refinance the whole thing and then seller finance it to me. So we'll see what that looks like. But it's just amazing when you use the resources in this community. I mean, if you sit on the sideline and you're quiet, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of results other than what you're seeing, what's provided. But if you really get involved and you want this bad enough and you lean on people and you tell them, hey, this is what I've got. Can you help me look at this deal? You know, and I would just say, when you bring those deals to people, if you don't already have your hands on the spreadsheet that we use that's available under the documents here, I would definitely get my hands on that and try to have at least almost all of that done, preferably all of that done before you take it to somebody, so they can really give you a good idea of what they're looking at. And that really helps too. But yeah, I can tell you this, I can guarantee you this, okay? You're talking about a guy that didn't know anything from anything. I was in law enforcement for my career. That's kind of what I did. I only found out about self-storage because I rented a U-Haul truck from a local owner here in town that has a facility. And I just happened to ask him out of curiosity, and he said, hey, have you ever heard of the Storage Rebellion, Mike Wagner? And I said, no, but I'll check it out. So I did. I just kind of went from there. That was 2.5 years ago. So if I can do it, if I can land my first deal, I guarantee you there's anybody on this call can do it too. It just, you may get your teeth kicked in a few times. I did, but you have no choice. You have to do this. That's the attitude. This you have to do this, and that's it. You know, there may be some downtimes. There will be. I guarantee it. There'll be some downtimes, but people like Shane, Scott, Mike, Kuski, all these people on this call, those people can lift you up, and they're more than willing to do that. And that's worth its weight in gold. I've had to have those conversations a few times. So.
Yeah, it's a good call. And I'd like to add to that I think, you know, being in this community, what I've seen as well is when we do know somebody's put in the work and we see what they're looking for, and they've told us clearly, this is what I'm looking for. This is where I'm looking for it. Like, anytime we find something that's not for us, I mean, this is the first place it goes. We bring it into this community first, right? It's like, here, Rebels, I have a deal. Doesn't fit me. See if it fits for you. And there's so many deals that have traded hands within this community just since, you know, over the last, 6 years or so. It's amazing. So I think, really, like you said, not really hiding in the shadows. It's not that you're hiding, and I get that. Don't want anyone to feel like that's something wrong to be quiet or be on the sideline. But at some point, we do need to know how we can help you.
Yep. Yeah.
Whether you're just unsure yourself, whether you just think that you need more money than you do to do this. Maybe you just aren't sure what to say when you get a seller on the phone or when you call a broker for the first time. Those are the little things that people maybe don't realize they can get help with. Like, Shane, I don't know what to say to them. I think that's what Chris Acosta, I think that's what they did. They came on a call. They're like, the seller said this or the broker said this, and not really sure what to do. And I was like, well, why don't you try doing this, this, and this? And on the next call, it was, well, that worked, saved us $75,000. So it could be something like that. And really, you could only be that one step away, or just that one question away from unblocking what you feel is insurmountable at the time, and clearly move forward with your goal with the support of the community.
Yep.
Here's a 20-second quick example of the power of the community. Okay. So last year, you remember the deal, Shane, we were working on in Virginia. Some things come up. We decided it didn't work for us, but not to say that it wouldn't work for somebody else. So we reached out to somebody else in the community. I think it was a week. It was a done deal. So we assigned that deal to them. We were happy because we at least made it worth our efforts with an assignment fee, and we left plenty on the bone for him. And I talk to him about once a month. He's doing great with the place. So
Awesome.
yeah,
So-
without that, where else could I have, what would I do? Post it on Facebook and say, hey, I've got this, looking to assign it. It was here. I mean, the person already knew who I was. The person is Shane Scott.
Yeah.
He did his quick due diligence. It was already, we had already done our due diligence, but he did his real quick. It was a done deal.
I love it. Mike, dude, I want to thank you so much for hopping on here and sharing your story and sharing the value that you've received. I greatly appreciate you and thankful, man, to have you in the community, because I know as much as it's helped you, you certainly go out of your way to add value and help others. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm always, I'm no pro by any means, but always willing to help where I can. So
Appreciate you, brother. We'll see you.
Awesome.
We'll
Thanks,
see you
Mike, man.
soon, and looking forward to all your success. Awesome. Gotta love Mike Perkins. Let's get
Absolutely.
see here. Let's bring up
Joseph.
Joseph. If you're able to, I'm gonna invite him up. Hopefully, he's
There you
with
go.
us.
Voluntold.
Voluntold. I'm bringing Joseph up. I see we got Britt here. Britt is one of those university members who's just taken massive action.
Yeah,
Was
for
crushing
sure.
it through the accelerator course. Would love to hear from him. Britt, if we can bring you up, just drop something in the chat. If you're in a position to jump in, would love to hear from you. Joseph, how you doing, man?
What's up, Joseph?
I'm doing great. I had a great call with Shane yesterday. And it actually, it really fired me up. I mean, I don't mean to, embarrass Shane here, but that 1 hour
Please
call
do.
was fantastic.
Wait, this call was yesterday? This
Yeah.
call was yesterday?
Yeah.
Joseph, you still sound fired up as if the call just happened.
Oh, I am. I really am. We signed the contract this morning. We finally got everything worked out, and there was one sticking point with regard to allocations, and Shane and I talked about it. I called them. We had a conversation. We reworded it. We didn't put any allocations in. We're just going to put it in as an amendment after the lenders and the lawyers agreed to it.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
That's fantastic, dude. Big congrats to you. And Joseph actually won I think it was a 60-minute coaching call. You won it through the
That's good.
university. We were giving it away. And so well deserved to you, dude. I'm super pumped for you, and I'm excited to hear your excitement. I think that's what makes this so fun. Would love to hear a little bit more about, how you got started in self-storage, and then, would love to hear how, other than your coaching call, how has the university been valuable to you?
The university has been incredible. We started our journey back in like 2013 with multifamilies. And when we bought our multifamilies, we bought 4 buildings in a matter of 3 months. We just jumped in head first and went for it.
Wow.
But then when we decided to move over to storage, my aunt and uncle own a bunch of storage, and they've been pushing us to do it. It has taken me 2.5 years to actually pull the trigger. I sent out all the LOIs. I did everything, but I never felt comfortable. And when I joined the university back in, I think it was March or April of this year, being on that community and that forum every week, listening to those weekly phone calls, it did something. And it just gave me the confidence to say, hey, I can do this. And if I don't know what I don't know, there is somebody in this group who knows what I don't know.
Yeah.
And I can really
Right.
use them as the tools.
It's amazing. I love it. Shane, I think we found your biggest fan.
Hey, it was a great call. I had just as much fun as he did, and I was just as fired up afterwards as well. So that definitely gave me a ton of energy, and he's definitely got the right tools to do whatever it is
Oh,
he
yeah.
wants to do in this business. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I was going to say, the university is just, it really has been, it has been great. I don't even think about whatever and honestly, I don't even know what the monthly amount is or what I'm paying. I know it goes on a credit card. I don't really care for the simple fact that I have access to everybody on this. One of the first people I talked to was Scott Spear. And he explained to me how he does everything.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, he's driving around the country in his RV with his wife. I know that'll never happen with my family because, you know, roughing it for my family is room service that stops at midnight. So that's not going to happen. But that freedom that he has is what I'm looking for.
It's awesome. Well, dude, you're definitely on your way. I'd love to hear a little bit. Have you, especially like getting into storage, you know, as a newer investor, there's always some hurdles that you're faced with, some things that you're uncertain about. And it sounds like for you, you're really leaning into the community. But have you ever felt? I'd be curious. Like, have you ever come across some challenges that you weren't able to overcome, or for the most part, has this allowed you to really get through pretty much anything storage related?
I think it has given me the confidence that I can do anything storage related. I can reach out to this group and say, hey, I have this issue, I have this deal, I don't know what to do with it, what do I do with it? And before I was going all on my own, and that was the whole thing. And I know we, as a group, we can go farther, you know, but I had that mindset because we bought all of our first multifamilies all on our own. And we had to stop because we're out of money.
I love it. Joseph, dude, I appreciate you jumping on here. We were kind of like spur of the moment here, but is there anything before we let you hop off here, is there anything or maybe a piece of advice that you'd love to give to some of our folks here who are considering joining you and other members in the university?
The best advice I can give is just do it. This will jumpstart you to your next position or your next phase of the journey. Right now, I know how you feel. You're struggling. You're not sure what to do. Take the leap. It is worth everything that I've done so far to join this community. It's a fantastic community, and everybody wants everybody else to succeed, and that is one of the best parts about it.
Yeah, I love it. Dude, I so appreciate you. Thank you for sharing that. And I love your energy, man. I can already tell I've met, and I know Shane would agree with this. We've met so many people over the years, and you know, you come across certain folks and you're just like, yep, they're definitely going to get it. And you're on your way, dude. So I'm pumped for you and excited for your success.
Thank you. I really appreciate all your helps.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, Joseph. That's awesome. I saw Britt said he was willing to jump on. Let's do one more. We'll finish up with Britt. It's funny, people keep mentioning Scott Spear. I just had a conversation with him before this call. He was inviting me to a meetup. He's actually in town. I was like, no, dude, we're doing a live call. I was like, can you jump on? He's like, I'll try. So I could see him. He's at a FRIA meetup, probably jumping on here if he gets a chance. Scott's awesome. He's always willing to help others. Let me see if I can find Brett here. And then invite up. After this, we can kind of wrap up. We'll finish up with Brett. Let's see. We got Wes, Steve Chamberlain, new insider member. Steven, what's going on? Nick Labello. Vladimir, what's up, dude? Haven't seen you in a little while. Chris Acosta, new insider member. Josh, good to see you. There we go.
Hey.
Brett, how we doing, brother?
Sounds like I got to talk to Scott Spear.
Shocked you haven't. You've gotten this far without talking to him yet?
I reached out to him a few weeks ago. He was like 10 time zones away. I didn't know he was back in town.
That's Scott's messages are going to be blown up after this call.
Right.
Britt, dude, welcome. I appreciate you, man. I've said it a few times. Shane and I have talked about it. It's funny because when you joined the university, we could see your progress, and we're like, man, have you seen that new member Britt? He's just crushing it. He's like working through the course, and you're doing awesome, dude. So I'd love to hear a little bit about your backstory, kind of where you are right now. I'd love to hear about your experience in the university as well.
So I've been in residential real estate for over 30 years, all aspects. Finally decided to pull the trigger on self-storage.
Yeah.
I was recommended to the Rebellion by a former member or a member. And so I joined probably 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Blew through that course in about 30 days. Analyzed one deal, sent an LOI. They accepted it. That was 3 weeks ago. I'm still waiting for them to sign the purchase and sale agreement.
Unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Analyzed the second deal, sent an LOI on that one. They said they would counter. They wouldn't do the seller finance, but they would counter the cash offer. And that was probably 2.5 weeks ago, and I'm still waiting for that that counter.
Oh my
But I've been in
gosh.
touch with both brokers. They were both on market deals, and they're just having a hard time getting a hold of the sellers. And they're both mismanaged properties. You know, the ideal property that you want to get. You know.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
hopefully, still waiting. So we'll see. But in the meantime, I'm still analyzing deals. Actually, fully analyzed a few more. Probably send another LOI and one in the next day or two.
Yeah. And Britt, I know Britt, when you jumped in,
You took action right away, dude, and you were connecting. What I really loved and appreciated about you.
was you were just looking, you were utilizing the community, utilizing the network, and you were looking for folks, who can I connect with? And you and I jumped on a call at one point, and you're like, I already talked to John, and I talked to this person and that person.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, you're talking to all the right people, first of all, and congrats to you for doing that. I always tell folks, especially when they're new and they join and they're like, you know, what are some things I should be doing other than going through the course, jumping on the calls? I'm like, network, get to know as many folks as you possibly can, because that's where a lot of the magic will happen as well. And that's the power of these communities too, is it allows you to tap into the right environment and folks. And so hats off to you, man. You did that right away, and I'm sure that was a big key to where you are now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just clicked on the members tab and saw who were the top guys and the
There you go.
coaches, and said those are the people I need to talk to.
I love it.
And then I talked
Smart
to people
man.
like Mike, you know, people
Yeah.
who just got their first deal, to find out how they did it or how they started.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mike and I talked for a good hour and a half
Oh, that's
one
awesome.
day.
Awesome.
Try to
That's
get the
awesome.
whole gamut, you know,
Yeah.
experts and novices, just to kind of see how it goes, you know, because I'm sure you guys have a different perspective than Mike does as a newbie, or, you know, newer.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, hats off to you, man. Everybody has value to bring, no matter where they are in their stage, and it's awesome that you recognize that. And everybody has a different story to share as well. Shane, I sounded like you were about to jump in. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, not at all. I was just agreeing that, you know, he's just doing it right. And I just hope that we're
Mhm.
paying attention. And I hope anybody watching this after the fact is paying attention to what he said. I mean, he went through the accelerator course. He underwrote deals and sent LOIs. I mean, and networked in the community. I mean,
My goal is to have at least 100,000 square feet by 2027.
and I have no doubt that you will get exactly that and then some. So I mean, that's the big point is just he's taking the right steps. We could tell, right? You could just tell that he was going through the accelerator course, actually posting the challenges, getting the support from the members, to the point where within, you know, a 2-month window is comfortable enough sending out LOIs and negotiating deals here on self-storage. So
Mhm.
it is just willing to take action and not be afraid to reach out and say, I'm new. This is what I'm looking for. I want some support. I'm looking for some help, and you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Well done, Britt.
And you know, Anthony, when I underwrote that first deal, he spent a bunch of time helping me go through that. Sent him the analyzer and walked me through it. Just we went over that. So yeah, he was a big help, reaching out to him in
Awesome.
the community for that. I threw a
Yeah.
post up there, and Kusky, you know, hit me up and said, "Hey, I'll take a look." So
That's awesome. Anthony's always willing to support. He's a big help in the network here.
And two, one of the things, Britt, that I'm going to challenge you on
Live on this call is you had mentioned 100,000 square feet by 2027. And I personally believe you can do it sooner than that. And one of the things I might share to hopefully help you see this from a different angle. And I talked about and maybe you heard, I did a presentation on this, and maybe you saw the recording of it, but and it's perfect that we have Shane here because I can use him for this as well. But like, we have what we call a depth perception problem, where if we believe our goals to be X amount of time away, we'll actually develop habits and patterns and routines and beliefs to support that. And so if you set that goal for 2027, you'll probably hit it in 2027 because you've structured everything around that belief. And when you change the distance of that goal, if you bring it closer and it's maybe mid 2026, you'll develop all new patterns and habits and beliefs to develop, or I should say, to reach that goal in that time frame. And I love using Shane as an example because he had this goal at our very first retreat that we did for the Insiders group, and he wanted to leave his 9-to-5 job, and it was like 2 years, and took somebody to say, well, hold on, Shane, that's actually a 6-month goal. And Shane had to, number one, he had to believe that that was possible, because if he was just like, yeah, that's a 6-month goal and carried on with his life, he probably wouldn't have achieved it. He actually had to believe, okay, maybe I'm missing something here. This must be possible. And what did you do it, Shane, in like 4.5 months or something?
Yeah, 4 months later.
Yeah, so you changed a 2-year goal to a 6-month goal and then hit it in 4 months. And so, man, especially the way that I see you moving, I think you're capable of of reaching that goal of 100,000 square feet. I think you can do that next year. But you have to believe that it's possible, and you have to set that goal. And as Scott Spears says, not to use his name again, but put a date on it, write it down, and I promise you'll start moving differently, thinking differently. And one of the things that I've noticed when I change the distance of my goals is I start getting really creative with how can I possibly do this? And you really start, not only do you start thinking deeper, but you start utilizing the resources around you. And I've noticed that helps you move a lot faster too. And so I would challenge you to do that, man. I think you're more than capable.
Oh, get it, Britt. Get it.
Write it down every day.
I love it. Right, dude, I appreciate you being here, man. And thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being in the university, and excited for you.
Thanks, Britt. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks.
It's awesome. Shane, let's do this. I want to be respectful of folks' time. We could talk a little bit about what comes with the university for anyone who's considering it, and they're like, man, I'd love to tap into it. What do I get? What does it cost? What does it all look like? So we could touch a little bit on that. I can talk through some of the deliverables if you want to touch on the coaching calls. I know we kind of talked about that a little bit already. So if you guys do decide, hey, this would be a cool fit, I'd love to experience it and jump in. There's quite a few things that come with it. And one of the things that, when Shane and I stepped into the Rebellion here is we said, whatever we offer to folks, we want to make sure that they are getting an experience that far exceeds what they're paying us for. And that's exactly what we did with the university, is we just packaged this to create as much value as we possibly could for you guys. And so a couple of things that come with the university. The first thing is our accelerator course. So if you're newer to storage and you're looking to have that foundation for success, how do I look for deals? What types of deals do I look for? How do I make an offer? How do I write a mailer or talk to a seller? Underwriting. What do we got? Due diligence, remote management. It's all in this course. And this is going to walk you through each of the steps. And again, this is helping you build clarity and confidence so that you can go through this course and then have so much clarity on, okay, this is exactly what I need to do, and here's what I need to do next. And then you'll also get access to the coaching calls with Shane every single week. Shane, I'll let you touch on those a little bit more.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The coaching calls, I'm glad this is structured in the way it is, because it's just like this. These are just what the coaching calls look like. Except we don't have Chris's handsome face here with me. It's me on camera. It's you guys there in the chat room, and you're able to just post and chat as many questions, whatever questions you have, whatever hurdles you have. You're able to post those in the chat. We do those once a week, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, live right here in the network. And again, it's a half hour of just pick my brain, pepper me. And I say pick my brain. Kuski's there, Grebbin's there, Perkins. A lot of these guys are there. You come on the calls, you just don't, you're not on camera, but you're in the room with us, right?
Yep.
Autumn's in with us, right? Spears in there, Scott Spears in the coaching calls on Tuesdays. How to get a good crowd next Tuesday. But yeah, so that's what it's for. So, and I'll even notice that as I'm talking to somebody and answering a question, somebody else asked the question, and one of the members, and they've got a conversation going in the chat room. So it's very interactive. Again, they don't have to come on camera. There's no pressure. They can just ask the questions, and that's what we're here for. So I love those coaching calls. They give me the most energy. It's super fun, and I feel like they've been helpful. For the people that have been participating, and we have the recordings as well. So all the calls that we do are recorded. So if you're not able to make a call, you can always go back and look at the previous call recordings or any of the recordings from the past that are in the network as well. And you did touch on the accelerator course. Just the document vault, I think, is a big thing.
Yeah. We can touch on the documents a little bit too. Before I do, I want to add one more thing to the coaching calls, which I think makes them so valuable. Is not only do you get to show up every week and get all your questions answered, but you also get to hear from others. So like people are on a similar and or different journey, and they might be going through something that you have not yet faced. And it just opens your eyes to so much more. And then you get answers to that. And so now it allows you to move so much faster. The documents, on the other hand, we provide you guys with, I think it's about 19 documents. This is a $5,000 startup cost. We include these absolutely free in the university. You guys get the contracts that we use, our purchase and sales agreement template, our due diligence checklist. So when you're on site and you're visiting your first property and you're like, what do I need to be looking for? We show you everything. These are all the things you need to be paying attention to. These are all the questions you need to be asking, the people you need to be talking to. We provide that for you. We have our valuation spreadsheets. These are all plug and play. So when you find a deal, you just input all of the numbers, and then it tells you the valuation of the property. It gives you the projections over year 1, 2, 3, 4. And it allows you not only to determine the value of the property and see its potential, but also it allows you to get really creative with it using that template. You can start to plug in different numbers and ask yourself, well, the deal doesn't make sense with these numbers, but would it make sense if I change these expenses a little bit or change the financing? What if we did a little bit of seller financing or private money, whatever it is? It makes the process a lot easier for you. And then we also include all of the tenant letters. So when you step into ownership, there are letters that you're going to be needing to send out to your tenants, and we give you all of those. And there's a handful of more that you get with the documents. So those are extremely valuable. These are all things you're going to need to start your business in self-storage. Those are yours free. And then what else do we have? We have the accelerator course, the coaching calls, the documents, and then the private group. So we do have a private university forum. That's where all the members hang out. If you have questions, you want to connect with specific university members, you can do it there. And we could easily sell, I think, the university for $1,000 or more per month, but we don't charge anything near that. It's only $97 a month. There's no contracts. There's no long-term commitments. You can literally unsubscribe with just one click. If you're not finding it valuable, then we wouldn't ask you to continue paying us. So come check it out. There's very little, if any, risk. It's only $97. You guys can jump in today. We actually got a cool offer for you guys that's only going to be available for 24 hours. So only the folks on this call will get access to it. But we're going to drop that in the chat in just a moment here. There's one other thing I wanted to add, and I completely forgot. I'll turn it over to you. We had a bonus. We want a 24-hour special we were going to give you guys. So we're going to give you a link to join the university if you decide you want to jump in today. And then Shane, I know you wanted to give away an additional bonus to anybody who wanted to sign up tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. And I think I firmly believe, right, that our mindset, at least for me, was the first thing I really needed to identify and address and get clarity on before anything else fell into place, right? Like you said, like it took borrowed belief from Ken Holmes and Ian that I could leave my job within 6 months and not 2 years.
Yeah.
And they helped instill that in me. With that being said, we're going to drop a link. People can join. I've put together, again, because I believe in the limiting beliefs is probably the biggest thing that's going to stop you from achieving your next step. So there's a link right there for a special offer within the next 24 hours to join the university. I'm going to drop a link in here as well. This is going to be a link to an ebook. An ebook I put together. It's not long. It's 26 pages, I think. And it just really breaks down different steps that I went through and tools that I used, the Miracle Morning and some different podcasts and certain books that really spoke to me. And it really is a kind of a step-by-step. It's called Break the Chains, right? So crushing your unlimiting belief or your limiting beliefs. And so I'm going to put a link in here, and then anybody that joins on your link, joins the SRU within the next 24 hours, we're going to shoot you out a code, and I'll give you 100% free access to download that ebook. That code will also include 4 additional bonus downloads that I put together, 30-day tracker, mindset, reset method, and a couple other things that are in there as well, some free bonuses. So I'm going to put the link down here in the chat for you. This is where this lives, and once you join, if you're on that list of new members within the next 24 hours, you'll receive a code from us. Yep. So I will.
This sounds like all of the things that really helped you over the past, call it 5-6 years, however long it's been now. Kind of get to you where you were working at the dealership to where you are now. I know you're full-time storage, and you moved from New York to Florida. You're in Georgia now, but this is basically everything that allowed you to get to where you are. Yeah,
this to me is a playbook. It is a playbook to from me sitting in that dealership in that cubicle going, I'm not those guys. I can't do that stuff. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of time. I'm not that smart. And getting me to, I'm here putting together an ebook and giving it out to a group of awesome people so I can help them grow as well. So yeah, to me, this is just a playbook of what I feel was very important steps that I took. And if it can help somebody just kind of get over that first hurdle, believe they can, and they'll dive into this like Britt did, then I think it's going to be great for them. So yeah, I love that. Thanks for dropping that in.
And is the link you're shooting out, is that just to learn more about?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone clicks the link, it'll take you basically to the homepage store of this book, and you'd be able to see what it is, what's included, and then again, we'll get a code out to our new members within the next 24 hours so that they can snag it free. This isn't a sales pitch. I'm not expecting anyone to go in here and buy it, but you're more than welcome if you feel like it. Have fun. It's all.
I love it. Well, guys, the link is in the chat. Again, this is 24 hours. Again, you can join the university after this 24-hour special. But if you do join within the first 24 hours, we're going to shoot you this ebook for free too as well. And then if you guys do join, hopefully you do, and hopefully you found these stories to be helpful, inspiring. You see other people that are finding success and tapping into this network. You have your next group coaching call coming next Tuesday. Is that the 22nd?
Tuesday. Yep. Tuesday, 22nd, 4 p.m. right here in the network, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. So if you guys jump in the university, you'll be able to jump on that coaching call on Tuesday. But before then, right, so once you jump into the university, you're going to get instant access to that accelerator course. So you guys can actually start digging into that now. And then questions that might come up, you could bring those to the call on Tuesday, every single Tuesday. And Shane will be there to support you and answer all your questions and keep you moving and building that momentum. I'm thinking Mike Perkins, right? He was talking a lot about momentum and the fact that, like, once you kind of get going and you get that first one, then it just kind of seems like things start coming, they start falling into your lap. And momentum is so powerful, but you just got to take that first step. And hopefully that was inspiring to you guys. But I don't want to take up too much of anyone else's time. This was fun. I'm glad we got to hang out on a Thursday night and talk storage, hear from our awesome members. And
Yeah,
Shane,
this is cool.
Anything else you want to leave folks with?
Yeah, I'll just remind everybody on the coaching call side of it is if you don't think you're going to be able to make the call and you do have something that you'd like addressed, you can DM me the question right in here in the network or post it out live, and I'll make sure I bring it to the group. I'll ask it out to the group, and then we'll answer it together as a group, and then you can catch the replay and you can see your question live, answered, asked and answered. So that's what we're here for. But yeah, I don't know. I love this community. I wouldn't be where I am without it. And I just hope that there's somebody else 5 years from now sitting here talking about their awesome story, how they achieved their goals and they broke through and they overcame obstacles. And that's all I'm hoping for, is just to help as many people get to that as possible.
I love it. I love it, dude. Dude, thank you so much for being here. It was fun hanging out. And I'm looking at our participants. I want to thank you guys for jumping on with us. Scott Westhoff, good to see you. Martin, Dell, Kirk, Wes, Josh, Chris, Vladimir, Carlos, Nick, Joseph. We got a whole bunch of you in here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us this Thursday night. If you guys need anything, again, you can connect with Shane. Feel free to shoot me a message as well or send us an email. We're here to support you guys. And if you have questions about the program, you can reach out to us about that as well. But until next time, guys, have a great rest of the night. Have a great day tomorrow, and looking forward